Hey there, it's another beautiful day, and I'm back. Let's watch some stuff.
So I read that Border Patrol is reporting that the steel that was left over from the first administration with Trump, the one that they were building the wall with, there was tons of it, miles and miles of it left over that was never put up. The Border Patrol was reporting that all of a sudden it's now being put on trucks and it's being taken to government auction sites where it's being sold for $5. How vindictive is that? They don't want him. The first time that we had this issue, what was the biggest problem? The funding of the wall. How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? Well, to prevent him from coming and actually just using what's already been paid for, they're auctioning it off for $5. On top of that, they're paying truck drivers, forklift drivers, and everybody else to put it on these trucks and then take it down over there. Huge waste of American taxpayer dollars, just because they don't want him to be able to do it again. And if he tries to build the wall, funding will be an issue again, because a lot of the stuff that was paid for, it's $5 now.
The Donald even came out and said that some people had the audacity to reach out to his people and try to sell the walls that they had purchased for pennies on the dollar back to him for more than it cost the American public to pay for them in the first place. And now, with prices that are so skyrocketed due to inflation and everything, it's going to cost even more to try to build that stuff again and put it back up. I'd really like to see some people buying them and then just giving them back. That would be patriotic.
The Green Children of Woolpit is a medieval legend about two children with green skin and an unknown language who were discovered in the 12th century in the village of Woolpit, England. They claim to have come from a place where the sun never shone and the sky was always dim. They said that they had been tending their father's flock when they came upon a cave. After entering the cave, they found themselves transported to the Woolpit fields. One child eventually died, but the other, named Agnes, learned English and stayed in Woolpit, never revealing her homeland, and she would often wander off into the fields, staring up at the sky as if searching for
The aliens to come and pick her up? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
What on earth is happening to the US government right now? Because Donald Trump is now bashing Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, due to the funding bill that he just put forward, which, yes, there's a lot of horrible things in it, but this is the first time Donald Trump is publicly calling out Mike Johnson and not agreeing with what they're saying at all. For those who don't know, Mike Johnson put forward a bill which, if passed on Friday, would stop a government shutdown. But the bill had so many things in it which made people go, are you kidding me? Including raising how much those in Congress get, which is currently $147,000. They want more money and better health care. Something which is like, wait a minute, you guys barely did anything for us this year, and you're already getting like 5 times the amount as the average American. In a statement, Trump and Vance both said Republicans want to support our farmers, pay for disaster relief, and set our country up for success in 2025. Adding the only way to do that is with a temporary funding bill without Democrat giveaways, combined with the increase in the debt ceiling. Anything else is betrayal of our country. And look, in that bill had some weird things, like they were going to do some kind of thing to RFK Stadium in Washington so that the Commanders can have a place to play. Why are we paying for that? So now Johnson is trying to work on a Plan B bill, but it's one of those things in which, why would you put the other one out first unless you knew it was going to fail and you wanted the outrage so that Plan B was your real plan? So what will Plan B be? Well, it's pretty much just a clean continuing resolution. That's it. That would get them through at least halfway, if not a few months into the year, and then from there they have to yet again find something else. I feel like they're just continuing the same bill month after month after month after month.
I feel like it was a bit of a ploy because Johnson has been a staunch Trump supporter like all of this time, right? And Trump's like, oh, we got his back and all that fun stuff. And then he plops down this 1,500-page fluff-filled mess. And I think maybe that was just to get some attention. Look at all this crap that they're putting into these extensions. It's not necessary. And then they're like, throw it out, get rid of it, do it right. And then Plan B was his original Plan A, like dude said. I think that might be possible.
Congress is about to pass a bill that blows away your taxpayer money but they made it over 1,500 pages long so you wouldn't read it. I did you a favor. I read it for you. It's supposed to be about keeping government operations open and providing disaster relief aid to hurricane victims, which I'm sympathetic to. But if you read the bill carefully, it contains pay raises for members of Congress, and I'm not making this up, an expansion of their federal health benefits. It contains all kinds of special interests and pork funding, including opening up a new stadium in Washington, D.C. It renews the Global Engagement Center, which is a key node of the censorship industrial complex. And the worst part is, they didn't want you to know about any of it, and that's why they made this a last-minute jam job. The reason I'm co-heading DOGE is I think we need outsiders to bring actual accountability to Washington, D.C. So feel free to call your congressman and let him know how you feel about it.
How absolutely mind-blowing is that? They were trying to include a stadium in Washington, D.C. in the extension of our government funding. What? What? Completely unnecessary. That's something you talk about at another time, not when you're talking about keeping the government open. Oh, I need a stadium. Are you freaking kidding me?
This is the problem. When you get transparency on a bill like this, the American people see it. Now Vivek and Elon are exposing it. Suddenly these guys can't hide. The emperor has no clothes. They can't just run around and say, oh, we had to do it, and then go home for Christmas, and then it just happens.
I'm really hoping there's going to be a lot more transparency coming up with this next administration, because stuff like this has to stop. Anytime there's a vote on a bill, it's hundreds of pages and there's all kinds of special interest, this, that, and the other thing funding tucked in there. And the people deserve to know. A frickin' stadium.
Fox News alert, the Justice Department just released the bombshell report that we've been waiting for. What actually happened on January 6th? The FBI had 26 confidential human sources there that day. 26. A confidential human source is a guy the FBI pays to spy for them. Of the 26 confidential human sources who were in D.C. on Jan 6th, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol. So more than a dozen FBI spies participated in the so-called insurrection. A bunch of them broke into the Capitol. Their own inspector general says this is what happened. But that's not what they told you when they testified under oath.
Those who were there in an undercover capacity on January 6th, how many were there?
Again, I'm not sure that I can give you that number as I sit here. I'm not sure there were undercover agents on scene.
I thought I heard you say you didn't know whether there were FBI agents or informants or human sources in the Capitol or in the vicinity on January 6th. Did I misunderstand you? I thought that's what you said.
Well, I referred very specifically to undercover agents.
Yeah. And so are you acknowledging then there were undercover agents?
As I sit here right now, I do not believe there were undercover agents on scene.
The inspector was hiding something, so Congress asked the question a different way. Listen.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol.
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my decision not to share information.
Director Ray,
confidential human
gentleman's
sources.
time.
This was information I was going to share with you on Monday, but things got a little weird. Things went sideways. Work got crazy. I had to do work stuff, and I was going to quit. Like, I was this close. I had packed up my whole office, and I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. And I missed it. I enjoy learning this stuff, and I enjoy sharing my time with you. I know it's not like 1 million subscribers or anything like that. It's just our little group, and I love it. And I love hearing from you guys, and I love talking to y'all. So make sure you leave me a comment, hit that like button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. We talk about all kinds of crazy crap on this channel. It's fun. Speaking of that, though, okay, so there were people that kind of assisted in the inciting? Is that what they're implying there? I mean, there was still a lot of people that were not there for that particular purpose that we're doing stupid stuff, but that's not good.
In 1985, Dr. Robert Miller developed what he called quantum phase corrective lenses to help his 12-year-old daughter Emily, who suffered from severe visual impairment. The breakthrough should have revolutionized optical science. Instead, it led to one of physics' most disturbing unsolved cases. Initial tests were promising. Emily reported perfect vision for the first time in her life. Then, after 3 days of use, she began describing wrongness in what she saw. "The air is breathing," she wrote in her diary. "Everything is inside something's stomach. We're floating in digestive fluid. It's so big I could barely see it. It's laughing at us, all of us." Her final coherent statement to hospital staff. "The thing, it keeps us dreaming so we don't feel ourselves being consumed, being digested." Dr. Miller found Emily in their bathroom on March 14th. 1985. She had removed her own eyes with her hands. Before sedation, she repeatedly thanked him for making me blind again. The prototype glasses were never recovered. Miller's research notes, found partially burned, contained equations that leading physicists called impossible and architecturally incompatible with our universe. Miller vanished 2 weeks later. His final recorded phone call to colleague Dr. James Chen contained one cryptic statement: "The human eye evolved to see what we need to survive, not what's actually there." A 1986 investigation found Emily's diary contained recurring sketches of what appeared to be vast, cellular structures surrounding everyday objects. The final page showed a crude drawing of Earth, labeled Nutrient Sac number 4.2 times 10 to the 9th. Emily remains institutionalized. During rare lucid moments, she asks nurses to check if the sky is still digesting.
That is an absolute trip. Wow. Okay, to imagine that's what's going on, and all of our planets or whatever are digesting sacs. Oh, that's crazy. There's this saying that I had heard that there are more atoms in a single eye than there are stars in the universe. I don't know how accurate that is, but if you imagine that, that's a lot, right? But could you imagine if one of those cells inside of your eye is a planet? Our planet? Right?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Time out, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. Yo, Earth's season finale is wild, yo. This shit is crazy. It just dawned on me. These drones in New Jersey, right? Everybody's trying to figure out what they are. I've even said shit like maybe it's Elon, Trump. It's a way for Trump to look like a hero coming in January. But dude, I got it. I got it. I know what this shit is. Remember when Luigi took out the CEO and he left the little carvings and shit in the bullet casings? And then there was a YouTube channel that had the countdown that said all will be revealed on whatever, on December, whatever that was. When did those drones show up in New Jersey?
So I did some digging, and the first drone sighting was reported on November 18th, and the CEO was taken out on December 4th. So those don't go together. I know there was like some 12/12 thing that was supposed to happen because of, I don't know, and the monopoly money thing that we talked about before. I don't see any correlation there.
We got 2 new revelations from the Trump Assassination Task Force. According to their report, the Secret Service agent who spotted Ryan Ruth in the bushes outside Trump's golf course was only 5 feet away when he opened fire and missed him. Not once, not twice, 6 times. He missed him 6 times from 5 feet. How does a trained agent who passed the firearms test miss a target away, 5 feet away? That's not all. The report says the Secret Service found out at 2:30 in the morning that Trump would be golfing later that day, but they didn't secure the course, allowing Ruth to camp out for 12 hours before anyone saw him. Meanwhile, Ruth appeared in federal court this morning, and his legal team signaling they're going to go with the insanity defense. How convenient. Ruth's public defender said he has had multiple meetings with a mental health expert while in jail, and the witnesses who saw him before the arrest say he was hallucinating and delusional. Of course. Prosecutors also revealed that Ruth has been doing a lot more writing behind bars than initially reported. Ruth has written nearly 40 letters to news outlets in an attempt to persuade them that he's an honorable guy, but they were intercepted before they reached their targets. We also know that only 17 of the 18 cell phones found in Ruth's possession belong to him. Why does he have 18 cell phones? And wait, he has 17, so who owns the last phone? And why did Ruth have it?
A Secret Service agent misses 6 shots from 5 feet away. Aren't they trained to be better than that? It's almost as if he was supposed to miss. Like he was going to give the guy a chance to run away or something like that. There's got to be something going on there, especially with all of those phones and one of them doesn't belong to him. I think we're going to find out something absolutely insane.
Holy cow, this is so mind-blowing that my head actually hurts. In Antarctica, NASA has just discovered what might be a parallel universe where time flows backwards. Here's the wild part. They weren't even looking for this. They just had their NASA balloon out in Antarctica in the crystal clear air searching for cosmic particles. And then something impossible happened, literally impossible, that defies the laws of physics as we know them. So there are these high energy particles called tau neutrinos, and typically they come down from space. But what they discovered was that these things were actually coming up from Earth, like watching water flow uphill, something that, again, breaks the laws of physics as we know them. But scientists apparently are like, but maybe they aren't moving upwards. Maybe instead they're moving backwards through time. And apparently the simplest and most logical explanation for this is that it's a parallel universe that was born at the same time ours was during the Big Bang. But here's the kicker. In that universe, if you dropped your phone, it would unshatter and go back in your hand. If you spilled your coffee, it would flow backwards into the cup. Basically take everything we know about time and flip it and reverse it. Now, somewhere in this mirror universe, there could be beings looking at us saying, these guys are living life backwards. This is an absolutely insane discovery. I just hope it's not like the Upside Down and we've opened some parallel door.
I don't even know how to formulate words to describe what I'm thinking right now. Like part of my brain is going, oh, hell no. And the other part of my brain is going, what? And I just, what? Wow. Okay.
Joe Rogan himself just posted this video on his Instagram of this UFO flying through the sky that he apparently recorded himself. You wanna know what that means? Seems like maybe this might be happening. Maybe a little bit of invasion. I'm about to show it to you, but I mean, think about it for a minute. You know, a confidential topic, and yet one of the biggest people in the world are posting videos about it? Maybe it's not confidential. Maybe it's kind of like disclosure?
There's no cloud. Shh, quiet. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it on the camera. It's like a dome. That's a UFO. Quiet. What the? Like literally, that's weird in the sky right there. I'm moving quick enough. There's no tail. That's a UFO. There's no blue or red. Look, something's coming off. Like an aura. I've never seen anything like it.
And right here, you can see it drift on out of focus. It's crazy. You know, think again about who posted this. There's a reason for it, I guarantee it. Are you ready for the invasion? Let me know below.
So these last 4 days when I was in my stupor, I looked at nothing. Like I was zero interest. I didn't care. I just wanted to focus on the business and not pay attention to stuff. And this comes up. And how can you not? How can you not be super excited about stuff like this? And yeah, Rogan is considered a credible source in a lot of situations. I don't know that he actually posted that. I didn't go and try to find Rogan's Instagram or anything like that. But if he did, yeah. Freaking cool, right? Super exciting stuff.
Now, there's no reason to be alarmed, but did you guys hear what happened in California today? Did you guys hear the announcement that the governor of California made today? And I'm going to not say the terminology that he said, but I'm going to advise everyone in this country to go look at what happened in California today. Why do I say that? This has a crazy resemblance to something that happened about 4 years ago. So the same thing that happened 4 years ago started in California. And we have the same governor making the same type of announcement today and trying to get ahead of this interesting situation. So go check it out, guys. We'll just say it has something to do with a bird. I'm out.
You can bet your booty I found what he said.
California Governor Gavin Newsom declaring a state of emergency in response to a growing number of bird flu cases, calling it a proactive action. He says the virus is spreading through herds of dairy cows in Southern California, one researcher claiming 600 dairy farms are under quarantine because of it. The first severe case of human bird flu reported in Louisiana this week. That was a 65-year-old hospitalized after interacting with an infected flock of birds in their backyard. The CDC reporting 61 cases of bird flu in 16 states since April. No reports of human-to-human spread have been recorded.
I don't know that that necessitates a state of emergency. I feel like he's just going to use this as a reason to shovel more money towards himself to make vaccines for this thing, potentially. That's kind of what it feels like.
Are you guys okay in the UK? I just learned that the British government passed a new law beginning in February that every household has to rehome at least one illegal immigrant. Are you kidding me? This is going into law February of next year. And you don't get any compensation when you rehome these illegal immigrants. You just get logged in the good behavior book. Whatever the hell that is. I feel so sorry for people who are living in the UK. Every day I learn something new and I can't believe what's going on over there. It's bad here in the United States, but holy cow, it's bad where you guys are at. And they're also witnessing these drones in their skies too. It seems like everybody who's witnessing drones, things are happening, like catastrophes, like their governments are going to be doing something to them. I just have an uneasy feeling about these drones. Not that I'm afraid that they're from, outer space, because they're not. They're our government. I'm afraid that they're going to try to pull something, and they're doing it in the UK right now.
All right, my friends in the UK, sound off. Let me know. Is this actually happening? And what does it entail?
Hidden tunnel found in CEO Brian Thompson's mansion brings shocking twist to the case. During an investigation at the mansion of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, police discovered a hidden tunnel that could drastically change the course of the case. Thompson, allegedly by Luigi Mangione, is now at the center of new suspicions. The tunnel, concealed beneath a carpet in the basement, leads to an exit in an isolated area and contains traces of fresh soil, tools, and recent footprints. Tire marks suggest it was used for clandestine transport. However, the most disturbing discovery was what investigators found on the walls of the tunnel: handwritten codes and symbols matching classified documents previously found in Mangione's possession. This direct link between the two raises even darker questions. Was Thompson the real target of a larger conspiracy, or was he more involved than anyone suspected? The discovery has sparked doubts about Thompson's potential involvement in illegal activities before his death. Mangione's attorney is already contesting the charges. This evidence could prove my client was framed. Federal agents are now investigating whether the tunnel was connected to smuggling or criminal networks. What once appeared to be a straightforward case has now turned into a far darker mystery.
My sister-in-law Terry sent me this video a couple times, actually, wanted me to look into it, and I did, and there's no tunnels. There's no tunnels. Apparently this story is spreading far and wide on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube even, but it's not in the news. There's no news about these tunnels actually existing under his home. Yes, this guy was a huge sack of crap, but no, he shouldn't have had his bucket kicked because of it. And no, there's no tunnels under his house. He's not that bad.
So it turns out that the feds might have already had Luigi's name before he was arrested at McDonald's. Apparently, Luigi's mom, Kathleen, had reported him missing last month. And when photos of the shooter was circulating, it was police in San Francisco who called the feds to say they think he might be the person. That's when the feds spoke to Luigi's mom, and she said she wasn't 100% sure if it in fact was her son from surveillance footage that was wildly circulating. But after Luigi was arrested, remember, they had put out a statement saying that they were shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. Obviously, his mom probably was hoping and praying that that image was not actually him. But just yesterday, Luigi's family's attorney said that his family loves him and Wish him the best. When I read the statement, I felt like they were publicly trying to distance themselves from their son. But then I saw this. Erin Friedman is now going to be representing Luigi in New York, and she's a high-powered attorney. Matter of fact, she's also married to a high-powered attorney who's representing Diddy. So while I did think it was interesting that they would say this instead of "we don't believe our son could do something like that," I'm just gonna make an assumption and believe that they are the reason why he has her as an attorney.
That's a safe assumption. If I was as financially stable as they are and my kid was in some kind of trouble, you can bet I'm going to find them the best attorney that I can in any situation. But I didn't know that she was that high profile and her husband is representing Diddy.
Morgan Stanley predicted that 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by 2030. One of the reasons is because the number of prime working age women in the US has been increasing steadily, and most of these women are single and completely focused on their career. That single childless women very generally tend to be much more unhappy, much unhealthier, especially mentally, much lonelier, and much less fulfilled than women who have a husband and children. This is just statistically true. This has been proven through many different types of studies and research. But this is bigger than a woman's happiness. This is about the bedrock of any healthy society. What is the bedrock of any healthy society? It's not money. It's not buying things. It's not consumerism. It's the family. It's the family unit. It's always been that way.
Until the World Economic Forum got involved. Remember who they are? These super rich people who need to get more rich, but they need to reduce the population, and what better way to do that than make things more expensive and make people unable to have a family, and then you get all of these single, childless people kicking around because that's what they want. Generational population reduction. And it's working because of stuff like this.
A bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made.
Oh no!
That went on for like another 20 seconds, so you are welcome. But it's influential videos like that make women think that they don't have to have kids. And if you don't want to have kids, don't have kids. That's fine. It's your prerogative. But it's the forcing, it's the unrecognized pressure to not have children because you can't afford that lifestyle. Children are expensive, and they're more expensive as the days go on because of the powers that be, making it so. It's that whole generational depopulation agenda. I really believe that's what it is. And we need women to have babies because that's how the population stays a population. Otherwise, there's nothing, right? It's kind of how it goes. But I'm totally leaning towards them making it happen.
Were you one of the kids that they were searching for? If you don't already know, a portion of the gifted and talented programs that we were in school may have been covertly used by the government as a psychological experiment and recruitment tool. Even stranger, they may not have even told you that you were in this program or disguised it as something else entirely. Here are a few signs that you may have been a part of a gate-related experiment. Without much explanation, you were taken out of your regular classes for special sessions, and maybe not even with an instructor that worked at your school. These special sessions didn't seem to relate to your regular classes whatsoever. Things like complex memory games, extensive audio testing with seemingly outdated headphones, untangling colorful strings, or testing your ability to psychically predict the next flashcard that they would show you. You spent a lot of time in small, isolated groups, or even by yourself, and you distinctly remember being taken to a small room, trailer, or a basement with either the windows covered up or no windows at all. You experience large gaps in your memory regarding what happened in these sessions, and only remember little blips of things, usually triggered by a photograph or phrase. You sense that something felt off about this part of school, or maybe even the teachers themselves, even to the point of trying to sabotage it to get out of the program. You were either praised for high intelligence or berated for a lack of intelligence, and neither description seemed to make logical sense to you at the time. You have a unique scar that you may not be able able to fully account for, specifically a triangular shaped scar. You have a unique eye color such as hazel eyes, or even a trait called heterochromia. You are left-handed or ambidextrous. You have dreamlike childhood memories of being able to do things like levitate or float down the stairs, or maybe even having vivid, predictive dreams that later came true in real life. If any of these things resonated with you, or you have more to share on the topic, please let me know down below. I am extremely interested in this side of the GATE program that disguised itself as other parts of our education.
I've mentioned before that I was part of the GATE program all throughout my education, and what they basically did was they put you in advanced classes to make you do stuff faster and better. And I do remember a lot of those things going into rooms and like trying to figure out patterns and things like that. And there would be like weekends once a month where you would select which extracurricular activity you wanted to do. And I feel like maybe I chose the wrong one because I didn't get any like super fantastic crazy job. I have a beautiful family and a wonderful family business, and I can't complain about that. So I guess I made the right choices. Yeah. Was anybody else in this GATE program? Do you have a funny scar? Remember weird levitating stuff? Let me know.
Okay, so I've watched this footage and I've come to a conclusion. Look, I've seen a lot of people do videos on this, and there are several videos out right now with this same thing. One of them was on a news broadcast, and they could not figure it out. They were being accused of it being the moon and all this other stuff. It's not the moon. And this is in several different videos in several different locations, which leads me to believe it might not be a UFO. It might not be a plasma being. But when you see this, you're going to see a drone at the last of this video footage, and it's going to appear. A lot of people are saying it's morphing into a drone and they're imitating. I do believe that that is possible. If we're going to be paranormal with this, guys, I think it's coming through a portal or a wormhole. Check this out and give me your opinion. That's my opinion. I don't believe it's a being. I believe this is some sort of a portal. Check it out. Okay, so this is what we've got. Pay attention. This is not the moon. Many people are saying, oh, that's the moon. Somebody's playing around with their camera lens or whatever, doing this. They're not. This is definitely not the moon. It's definitely real. And pay attention. At the end of it, you're going to see this thing start to transform. Now, I don't believe it's actually necessarily transforming, but I believe, and like I say, man, the footage, I'm like, you're filming this thing or you're recording it, and look, I mean, now we can't even see it. Okay, but you're gonna see it transform into this drone. Watch. And many people are saying, as you can see, many people are saying it's morphing and transforming into a drone. I don't think so. I think it's a portal. That is wild. And that is authentic footage. Please tell me what your opinions are on this footage. That is absolutely crazy.
I can't believe I missed sharing so much crazy drone stuff with you over the last few days. Oh my goodness. So there was this story that they were searching for this lost nuclear thing. That's crazy. And now there's like orbs where these drones are coming out of, so they're like portals and whatnot, or maybe they're plasma beings. And there's so much cool stuff still happening with the drones. It's fantastic. I got no clue what that is. It might be an airplane, maybe, or some camera trickery. I don't know.
Major step taken by the government in response to those recent drone sightings in the Northeast. The FAA has issued a ban on flying drones in parts of New Jersey until January 17th without special permission from the government due to, quote, special security reasons. The rule applies to areas now deemed national defense airspace. Despite this new rule, officials have said there is no evidence the drone spotted recently pose any kind of threat.
Of course they don't. That's their story and they're sticking to it, but I'm glad that they're kind of finally saying, hey, cut it out. But if they do fly into that airspace, does that mean someone's going to take them down? I'm finally going to find out where the heck these stupid things are coming from? I mean, they know, but are they going to tell us?
Is it beginning to make sense yet? You don't think it was supernatural powers that got him into the White House in the first place? He's like, I'm ready, take me home. Yeah, Dork Brandon. Yeah, from another planet. It's his mothership. It's not the Iranians' mothership. It's Joe Biden's. And he's ready to go back and chill out. To the planet of Delaware or whatever. Leave me alone.
Well, if that's true, then I just lost a whole bunch of respect for aliens, because what the heck? I don't think so. On that note, I'm calling it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Please, come on back in a couple days. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day. All right, so something happened, but you're not allowed to laugh. I got hats. I thought I ordered like 20 of them, and apparently I got 5. And they're kind of crap, but I'm giving them away for free. I only have 5. So what you gotta do, you gotta hit that link in the description. It goes to my Facebook page. Send me a message, and I'll send you a hat. Remember, I only have 5, so first come, first serve.